we say adieu. And how are you? Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Oh, I'm splendid. How are you, sir?
I'm great because I was right yet again.
You were right.
And being right makes me happy.
You were right. Well, yeah, but you being
they're
right.
Gonna score 8 or 9 runs, Craig. No, they're not. No, they're not. And they didn't.
Silly me. I thought Dylan Bundy, who had to come out in the second inning because, we all saw what happened. I figured Jose Suarez and the immortal Steve Cishek would actually be guys the Yankees are capable of hitting.
Well, I knew right away,
and I was wrong.
I knew right away. I knew in the first inning.
Really?
I knew in the first inning, even before Bundy upchucked on the mound, and we'll get to that in a second. Second and third, nobody out.
Right.
How many runs did they score?
They scored 1, but they did get
One.
a Gary Sanchez ground out as opposed to a strikeout or a pop-up in the infield.
Second and third, nobody out.
3, 4, 5 coming up.
3, 4, 5 coming up, and they didn't get the ball out of the infield. Now, they got the 1 run on the ground ball, as you just said, and I knew right then and there.
It was a bad sign.
That even with Bundy on the mound.
No, you're right. It was a bad sign.
Who's like an average builder. All right? A batting average builder.
Oh, a batting average builder.
He's a batting average builder.
Right.
I knew right then and there. Craigie, sit back, kick up your feet, have some guacamole, and enjoy the boredom.
You're right.
I did.
You're right. And it's inexcusable because once Bundy comes out of this game and you're dealing with Jose Suarez.
He's a Cy Young Award winner,
You got to
right?
pound him. Yes, he's a Cy Young Award winner.
Wait a timeout. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Are you telling me that he has not won multiple Cy Young Awards?
Believe it or not, Jose Suarez, though he has the same initials as Johan Santana, and are both lefties, he has not won a Cy Young Award.
Right. Oh, and by the way, he's a lefty, as you said.
Yes.
The Yankees have an entirely righty lineup.
Yeah, but they never hit lefties. Despite having this over-the-top right-handed lineup, it's not like they feast off lefties. But, the offense sucked. We all saw it. But you know what continues to amaze me?
The defense?
The defense.
LeMahieu?
DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah.
Twice on the ground ball, which was just wow. On the relay throw home,
That
which
would
was
bother me more. Now, they would have lost 4-3, not 5-3. So I guess at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't matter. I know it changes the mentality of only needing one swing of the bat to tie a game. But the relay throw, first off, Clint Frazier played it terribly out there. Mm-hmm. He didn't know where the ball was going. So the throw into LeMahieu's not like ping, pang, boom. And then the throw home is just a joke.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees on a consistent basis do everything wrong.
Yeah.
We can sit here and just blame the offense all day or bitch about Aaron Boone or bitch about whatever you want. They do everything wrong. Because if you're going to win games when you're only scoring 3 or 4 runs, you can still do it, but you got to do the little things right. And they do none of it right. It's the Yankee bingo card. Base running mistake, errors, bad positioning, lack of clutch hitting. Ooh, we hit a couple of home runs. Guess what? Nobody's on base. Yeah. And the Yankees lead the world in that, by the way.
Yep. Yeah, Stan's home run, who cares? Who cares? Get in here with 2 guys on, down a run. Who cares? And I know what they're going to say. Oh, Stan did his job. No, he didn't.
Well, when he came up with a guy on base in the third, he bounced into a double play. When he came up with a guy on second and 2 outs in the first, he flew out to left field or flew out to right field, whatever it was. So, look, the home run counts, all right? And the home run matters because you need to score runs, so I don't want to minimize it. But, yeah, you need Giancarlo. You need everybody in this lineup to actually get a big hit, and they can't buy him.
All right, listen, I'm going to say it. 'Cause you've said it, but I'm going to say it.
What are you going to say now?
Listen, they're not winning the World Series this year.
Like,
they're not. No, they're not. I know everyone holds out hope that one day they're going to catch on fire and start, beating people down, 10-6, 10-4, 9-5, whatever it might be. Here's the reality of the New York Yankees, and I don't care what Aaron Boone says, because I'm sure he's pissed off, and he's got to now try to say the right thing to coddle these guys, or whatever the case may be. Here's your reality as a New York Yankee fan, and it's not going to change tonight. It's not going to change tomorrow. It's not going to change in August, barring them making some type of move or moves that completely change the face of this team. And I don't know that that's going to happen. I suppose you have to give them the ability to do it, yes. The trade deadline's not here yet, but I don't believe it's going to happen. Not today. Mm-hmm. So as you said yesterday, this will be the most disappointing New York Yankees season and team in 25 years.
It'll be the most disappointing season for a Yankee fan in our lifetimes. And let's face it, even you, someone a little bit older than me, in our lifetime, Because let's not forget, when they signed Garrett Cole, let's go back to that moment. The Yankees are so much better than everyone else. That was the thought.
Yeah.
That was the thought everybody had. Not just me, not just you, not just people listening. The thought around baseball was the New York Yankees just lost to the Astros in a hard-fought 6-game series. And what do? They took their best pitcher.
Yep.
The Yankees are clearly the best team in baseball. All right, want to throw out 2020, which you've done? Fine, throw it out. What about this year? They're 2 games above 500. This has been a massive, humongous disappointment, the likes we've never seen of your Yankee fans.
It's not over yet. You could play that game if you want, right? Whatever number of games they have left, 80, whatever it is. You could certainly, if you want to play that game, I got you. I get it. Because why give up in June? I want to be clear about that.
And the Washington Nationals a few years ago were how bad, 50 or 60 games into the year. So, look, especially me, I'm a geek for this. I can sit here all day citing comebacks and citing you thought they were dead and then they went out and won a World Series. But right now, you watch this team.
It ain't good.
Is there any sign of life that this is the team that all of a sudden is going to flip a switch?
And here's the difference for me. And I know a loss is a loss. At the end of the day, you won a game, you lost a game, right? And they both lost yesterday. The New York Mets, in a loss yesterday, and that's all that matters, they lost the game, and their offense has been putrid, blah, blah, blah. But there's a big difference. The New York Mets damn near came all the way back.
Yeah.
And I know they didn't, and at the end of the day,
I got
lost.
Travis Blankenhorn with his head up his rear end, caught in front of Francisco Lindor.
You get my point.
I do get what you're saying. The New
There's a
York
difference.
Mets show a pulse.
Yes.
They show life. And even though they have not played good baseball over the last 2.5 weeks, and yes, they're aided by a division that for the most part has been down, even though the Nats are cut into that lead, there's this belief of they can come back.
Yeah.
There's this belief of
I believe it.
there's a fire in this team. And right now, if you're a Yankee fan, especially coming off the heels of Boone's comments, it doesn't feel like there's any fire. It doesn't feel like there's any urgency.
I told you that.
It feels like whistling by the graveyard right now.
What does that mean?
It means you're going by a graveyard and you're whistling.
Why would you whistle by a graveyard?
Because you don't care.
Oh, because you think you're going to wake the spirits up, the zombies are going to come get you, and you don't care about that.
See, I took
like you're
it as
nonchalant about the risk of the zombie apocalypse.
No, I took it
Is
as
that right?
you're going to die anyway, so there's no urgency. I'm just going to whistle by my eventual destination. Is that right?
No, I think the phrase just means that you're carelessly, while you're right next to doom, the graveyard,
Right.
you're just whistling by like there's no
Yeah,
big deal.
well, I thought you whistled Dixie.
No, you just whistled by
So
the
you're whistling by a graveyard shows
That-
that you have no care in the world.
that you don't realize that
You
the
don't
grave
realize
is
the
right next
pending
to you.
doom.
You're
I
just
got you.
la-di-da
So
whistling
it's like
down the road.
You're oblivious to your reality.
Correct.
All right.
Is
I like
that fair? Is that a
Yes.
fair comparison to the New York Yankees right now?
Because do I think they care? I guess they care.
No, they care. It's just it feels like they don't. Look, you yesterday, and I disagreed with you, said Giancarlo doesn't care. I'm not saying they don't care.
Yeah.
I think players care.
I don't know if they
but
do.
there's a sense, I think, from fans that there's no urgency. That the manager comes out, and by the way, whatever Aaron Boone says now is irrelevant. I mean, it
Right.
really is. He can say whatever he wants. It means nothing.
Right. He came out, this is do or die situation. You had 2 garbage pitchers on the mound, and how many runs did they score?
3.
Yeah. Garbage pitchers on the mound, and you had a grand total of 3 runs. Now, did you see Bundy throwing up?
Yes, I did. So did Kevin Durant. He saw it too.
Oh, did he comment on it? I
Oh,
didn't
no,
see
but
that.
he was sitting right behind home plate. And for some reason, yes, flashes to KD as Bundy's throwing up.
Is that
and his
right?
reaction is priceless.
What was he wearing?
What was he wearing?
Yeah. Was he wearing a Yankee hat?
No, what was that? A Georgia?
Georgetown.
He had a
Georgetown.
Georgetown hat
That's
on?
what it was, yeah.
So he's not a Met fan, now he's a Yankee
no,
fan.
he's a Met fan. He was wearing a Met sweatshirt at the Met game. He's a Met fan.
But he was at the Yankee
Yeah,
game
you know why he
yesterday.
went? You know his
Because
favorite-
like you, he's a baseball fan?
Nope, like you.
Yeah.
He loves
A winner.
Shohei Ohtani.
I do love Shohei Ohtani.
And so does KD.
Yeah, how do you not love Shohei Ohtani, who again, bang yesterday, 3-2 pitch.
Boom.
3-2 pitch.
センターに大きな当たりだセンター下がる下がって正面入ったなんでクレーバーから
I was like, trying to explain. I had breakfast this morning with some friends, and they were totally unaware of the Ohtani Japanese language call.
Right.
And I said, you guys, last night, Ohtani, right? And I go, you know the call, right? And they go, no, we haven't heard it. And I go, well, so I'm literally just minding my business with a couple buddies at a breakfast, right? I go, well, the Japanese language call for out of here is, sukadit. But I actually said the other words.
Oh, okay.
And they go, you got to be, no, that's impossible. I go, not only is it not impossible, it's real.
Oh, it's real.
And
it's
Evan
spectacular.
and I play it every day.
Yes.
They go, you play it? I go, yeah, but it's totally in context.
Of course. It means, I think, fly ball to deep something.
I think it truly means out of here.
Yeah, I think it means out of here. I think
Yeah.
you're right. And
I think that's what it is.
And that, by the way, was a laser beam bomb. In fact, I think it was highest exit velo.
I don't care about all that.
Well, you know why you do care about it, though?
I'll tell you why I don't.
But I'm going to tell you why you do, and then
And
you
then
tell
I'll
me
tell you
why
why
you
I
don't.
don't.
Because you don't like the words exit velo. It like flips that you're hearing something you don't like. I'll phrase it better for you. He hit the hardest home run of the season.
I don't care.
Why?
Because I don't.
When you hit the baseball, or I'm sorry, the softball,
Yeah.
you want to hit it as hard as you can. Do you
Well,
not?
I just want to get a hit. I don't care how hard I hit it. I'm a punch and Judy hitter anyway.
Okay.
Here's why I hate it.
Why?
Because if I got to hear David Cohn one more time tell me how hard Stanton hit a ground ball to short, I'm going to puke, just like Al Bundy did yesterday on the mound. I'm going to puke all over right in my mouth, and then I'm going to swallow it. Now, here's my question. Here's what I was thinking.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'm watching Bundy throw up all over himself, right? Mm-hmm. And I saw the post-game comments from Joe Madden, who I don't even know is still managing. He's so old. All right, and Joe Madden goes, he told us after the first
That's how
inning
relevant the Angels are.
he wasn't feeling so good, this and that, and what a warrior he is to be out there now. There's something to be said about vomiting in front of 25,000 people.
Sure.
Like, you don't live that one down.
Right.
Like, when you vomit, as you did,
Yes,
in between the first and second period.
I thought of myself when Bundy was vomiting because I did that.
No, you didn't.
What do you mean I didn't?
You did what all of us do.
What?
You go for the most privacy possible.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
Nobody wants to vomit
You're right.
in front of other people.
No, and I made an attempt to beeline it out of the Coliseum so that I could do it privately, which I successfully did.
What Bundy did yesterday is kind of like Donovan McNabb at a Super Bowl.
Come on.
Okay? He vomited in front of 25,000 people in Evan. It wasn't just he had Gatorade coming out of his belly. He had breakfast, lunch, and the pregame snack.
That's why it reminded me of my experience.
It looked like to me as if he had eaten 3 bags of combos, liquefied it, and sent it back.
So Dylan was on the Craig Carton diet prior to towing the rubber at Yankee Stadium.
That's what it looked like.
But don't
orange, a little black in there, some crimson.
But
it was spectacular.
But
vomit.
you have to give him credit because you have taken shots at baseball players routinely, right?
Yes.
Dylan Bundy is on the field at Yankee Stadium. He's having a terrible season. He didn't have the greatest first inning in the world. He's not feeling well, and yet he's battling through it.
Love it.
And he risked the embarrassment of what happened, which was barfing in front of everybody, including the best basketball player in the world who's there to see his teammate, and he battled through it.
Do you realize?
What?
Do you realize he's now the barf guy?
Yes, he is.
For the rest of his life.
Correct.
You're the guy that threw up at Yankee Stadium.
Yes.
That's a gift.
Yes.
Now, it made me think, though.
What's that?
Non-alcohol induced. When's the last time you just threw up? And you had to throw, you threw up.
For me, 6 days ago.
Right. And I started thinking.
How about you?
I can't remember.
You can't?
I cannot remember.
Non-alcohol-based throw up.
Yes.
Really? You have that good of a stomach, especially considering all the garbage you put in it?
The most memorable throw up I have is when I accidentally ate an entire tray of weed brownies. Yes.
What an accident that was.
That was a terrible accident. I just thought they were good chocolate brownies.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, someone goes, yo, where's all the weed brownies at? I go, what do you mean? Those were weed brownies? Yeah. So, yeah, like, do you remember the last time you threw up non-alcohol induced?
It's got to be a few years. It's
Few
got to be a few
years.
years, yeah.
Tommy, how about you?
I have no idea, no recollection.
No recollection.
No recollection.
I got
see that?
sick once after eating that imitation crab meat once.
Yeah?
That was like
So
that was
you
like
can tie
5 or 6 years
directly
ago.
to that.
Yes.
I
All
thought
right, I
it
got
was
that.
very.
I got that.
I thought, and maybe it's just me, that it was very
Like, you know,
common
if you
to
eat
throw
bad
up.
fish, you know right away.
Yeah.
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 I feel bad about myself. I thought it was common to throw up every once in a
So
while.
as you're listening right now,
No.
if you have ever had a spectacular vomit, that's a story you tell people all these years later. Evan and I would like to hear that. I'm not talking about the bathroom vomit. I'm not talking about the behind the bar, go back into the pub, have another shot vomit. I'm talking about the spectacular in front of other people,
Oh, boy.
faucet coming out of your mouth.
I had one of those at a dorm party in front of 3 girls. One of them wanted me. Yeah. True story.
How did that night end?
I feel bad
Did she
saying this.
get you?
She said, if you agree to use some mouthwash,
I'll get with you.
we'll get together.
Look at you.
And I did not get
You
with
are
her.
such a little whore. You.
I back out. I did not
You
do
said
it.
no to that.
I said no.
Unwilling
All right.
to use mouthwash. after
No,
a
it wasn't the
vomit.
mouthwash issue.
I
It
will not
was-
have
You're
terms
like,
dictated to me, woman.
I will only make out with you with chunks of vomit in
No,
my
it wasn't
mouth.
that. I,
Take me as I am.
you may think I'm crazy, but
You
what
love
caused
me for who's I be.
what made
And
me
to which to woo.
that sounds familiar. What made me back out is I said to myself, she wants to still hook up.
You got to respect that.
I don't know if I like this. I'm out. That was my reason.
If she's willing to hook up with you with vomit mouth,
Yeah.
imagine what she would be willing to do.
I get that.
Everything was on the table.
I totally get that,
Yeah.
but I backed out. I said I can't do this.
She must have been a real pig.
I don't remember enough
What was
about
her
her.
Bumble account name?
No, this was prior to Bumble.
Oh, was it?
Dude, I was 20.
Oh, young time.
Yeah, it was before I was able to drink.
All right. Well, we'll get all your calls now. But listen, it's got to be spectacular. And we'll add one little wrinkle to the mix because we have kids here, right? If you have kids and you want to tell a story where it was your kid doing it and you're there with them, we'll take that as well. Because I'm not sure, Evan, if anybody can top what Bundy did yesterday. Vomiting at Yankee Stadium.
and you're right.
Unless it was like a sold-out Yankee Stadium, which it wasn't.
No, you're right, because remember, there was a relief pitcher about a month ago who had the same problem, but here's the difference. It wasn't at Yankee Stadium. The relief pitcher got caught. Like, no one remembers it.
Yeah.
This is Dylan Bundy, major league player, as bad as he may be, at Yankee Stadium with, and this is big, and don't leave it out just because you're jealous he's not
Go
on your
ahead.
team. Kevin Durant's in the front row, and KD's watching. That adds to it. You got the best basketball
guess that
player in the
does.
world. Of course
I'll
it
give
does.
you that. You have celebrities in the mix. I'll
Yes,
give you that. Sure.
And they're watching this occur.
Yeah. And like, as much as you want to mock the guy, we've all been there.
Yes.
Although it's been years for a lot of us. We all have been in the spot where you know it's coming up. And like one of the greatest pieces of advice my father-in-law ever gave to me. He goes, if you feel like you got to vomit, you got to vomit. Vomit's not something to hold back.
No.
Let it out.
But if you were on the mound at Yankee Stadium,
Yeah.
okay, let's say it was a charity game or just a regular game versus my fan baseball guys, and you felt it coming, I think the difference between you and Dylan Bundy is you get your ass out of the game and you do it
Yes,
privately.
I would try to do it
I don't
privately.
think you would want to have that moment where people are taking videos, because it would happen,
No.
and pictures of you doing it on the field. And that's the difference between you and Dylan Bundy and most
He
people
had
in
no
Dylan
chance.
Bundy. He wanted to fight through it.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I also understand now why the umpires did not check his glove or hat for a foreign substance after that. They're like, you're Bundy, you're good. Stay 20 feet away. You're good. You're good. Take your time. Get the hose. Yeah, you're good.
Hose him down.
There's going to be a new tactic for pitchers. Anytime they're going to cheat and
Well,
then
think
throw
about
up so
it.
they can get away with it.
I didn't see it. But in between innings, they must have hosed the field down, right?
They didn't show it on
I
TV.
didn't- I
don't
didn't
know.
see what they did, but
I don't know.
it's not like, the Yankees take them out and there's vomit right there.
I mean,
You got to hose that
can you
down.
imagine you're
right?
Mike King, you go back on the mound and
La la la.
just sitting there.
I
think
always think
they-
of like the janitor who comes in with like the sawdust and sprinkles it on the vomit. When you were a
Yeah.
kid, that was always what would happen. The janitor would come in and he'd have that sawdust he'd sprinkle on it.
Or
I wonder
like
if
a
they still do
powdery
that.
thing.
Yeah, it
it's
looked
like a white, it's like a talcum type of thing.
Yeah, I remember kind of looking like sawdust.
Yeah, so I didn't see them have they got rid of the vomit.
They never showed it on TV.
I thought,
I don't
and I
think
guess
so.
you can't hose it because then it's wet.
Well, what can you do? Pick it up with
Dirt,
a napkin?
maybe? I don't know. You don't pick it up.
Well, then what are you going to do with it?
I think, yeah. Can you call the Yankees and find out how they got rid of the vomit last night? Because I'm sure they did.
Did they do something?
I'm sure the grounds crew was out there in between innings. I just didn't see it.
Because if they didn't do anything and you're Mike King or you're Suarez, that's got to smell.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a hot day too, Craig.
Yeah.
It's 90 degrees. It's humid.
Brutal.
Ugh.
Absolutely brutal. Well, we got a lot of other things to get to today as well throughout the day. It looks like there's going to be I guess, a charity hardball game now after our lunch today. We will explain the lunch today because I hear the midday guys and our guys are very upset about not being invited to the lunch. You guys totally missed out what the lunch was, so I will explain that. They feel left out, like, oh, how come I wasn't at the lunch? I'll explain to you why you were left out of the lunch. Not left out, why you should not have been invited.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Why I didn't belong there.
Evan, you did not belong there.
Gotcha.
Evan was invited as a courtesy because he's my partner.
Right, I understand.
You didn't belong there.
Okay.
Tommy didn't belong there, which is why you guys were not invited.
No, well,
Maggie
that makes
didn't
sense.
belong there. Moose did not belong there. Hoffman did not belong there, which is why
There
They
are
weren't invited. They
winners
were not
and losers?
No,
Yeah,
I
pretty
think-
Oh,
much.
I got you. Why they weren't
Pretty
invited?
much.
So you
Yeah,
take your little
exactly.
sensitive, thin-skinned asses and have lunch by yourselves one day.
Exactly what we
But I
did.
will explain to you why you were not invited.
No, the rest of us, we all got in the cafeteria and had lunch together.
I think that's phenomenal. Great. That's team building. I love it.